Pages from Mind Magazine, 1935 through 1937. The Message and the Messenger. Editor's note. Ever since Volume 1, Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East by Baird T. Spalding appeared and continued through the present Volume 3. The articles appearing in Mind Magazine and the India Tour Lessons, Volume 4, there has been a vast amount of speculation on the part of various students of truth throughout the world. This speculation has varied from one extreme to another, but this speculation is the result of looking at the whole situation from a purely external point of view. It is time that the mass of humanity learn to distinguish between the message and the messenger, the truth and the vehicle through which truth is presented to the world. Truth is the same regardless of the book that presents it or the teacher who proclaims it. It is not the setting through which truth is presented that should be the point of consideration, but the amount of truth that is given. Learning to distinguish between the thing that is taught and the manner in which it is taught comprises all the difference between confusion and illumination. There is nothing taught in the life and teachings of the Masters of the Far East that is not contained in the most ancient religious writings of Hindu philosophy. Nor is there anything that is taught in these writings that is not taught or implied in modern religion or metaphysics. There is nothing in Mr. Spalding's writings that is not duplicated in the Bible or the practices of Jesus Christ. The setting, the story may have shades of difference, but the truth presented is identically the same if one has the discernment to read them aright. The authority of any individual who dares to declare the truth as it is revealed to him is always challenged. The people of 2,000 years ago challenged the authority of Christ. They proclaimed him a heretic and crucified him for blasphemy. They tormented and humiliated him for teaching the very things for which we now worship him. Time has enabled us to separate his mission and his message from the incidents surrounding him and his works from the environment in which they were performed, of which we have now lost sight. Now we must lose sight of incident and environment in which present man labors to give the same truth to the world and look to the truth that has lived and does live eternally. In our everyday life, we are inclined to say that distance lends enchantment. We are slow to take into account that this fact largely influences us in our estimates of incidents and people in our practical everyday activities. What might happen in India might have the reverse reaction for an American that it has for a Hindu and vice versa. The people of India would consider the activities of certain people in America as the unmistakable signs of a master. Our Bible might be considered as presumptuous and startling to those who look to the Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas as the sacred books whose pages contain for them the essence of truth. A Hindu might well come to America to witness the modern miracles accredited to certain people of this country, and we would consider it a mark of their intelligence should they do so. But should we journey to India to witness the same performances and to receive the same teaching, it would be considered by some other Americans as an indication of mental weakness. But is it a case of mental weakness in either event? Or does it not indicate the thirst for true knowledge that burns alike in the common heart of mankind? The fact is, whether it be the teaching of Hindu, Christ, or modern metaphysician, the purport of any true message is that the truth is to be found in the human heart, and the contact is made right where we may find ourselves at any moment of our existence. If there is that in the teaching of any individual in the Bible or any other one of the 60 sacred books of the world that will give us light on our own divinity, let us consider it. If It points out the infinite principle of life, whether we call that principle by the name of God, Brahm, Ra, or Ein Sof. Let us drink from its fountain of life. If we will get away from the setting in which the truth is presented and look for the truth at its source, we will find it. Religious prejudice is the most deeply seated prejudice in human nature. If we would find truth, we must rise above our own weaknesses and dare to face the truth wherever it may be found and whatever its discovery may do to the narrow confines of our own beliefs and speculations. To quote Mr. Spalding in one of his forthcoming lessons, the masters look to America as containing 120 million masters. That is their way of declaring all men as masters. To contact your master is to find your divine self. Whatever presentation of truth helps you to attain this end is vital. If you lose sight of this point, all teaching so far as you are concerned is vain. Whether it be a master, a saint, a guru, to the Hindu it means one who is the mouthpiece of the infinite. In America, whether it be a priest, a rector, a preacher, the title is supposed to indicate the same mission. Whether we are true to the trust which we have assumed is a matter for each individual to fathom for himself. For the rest of us, our mission is to discern the truth which emanates, whether it be of God or whether it be the fabrications of our own system of mental delusions.